And what is up? It is White Trash Donnie, your trashiest host. Welcome to the Sloppy Syndicate show. We have a lively bunch in the green room waiting to come on. That is the band Zita. They are based out of New Orleans or Nolans, however you want to call it. Rock and roll with a little bit of blues with them. So listening to their music, I would sum it up. Led Zeppelin, Steely Dan, Rolling Stones, and Joe Satriani had a baby. You would get Zita. So without further ado, let's bring on the Good Time crew and let's give them a round of applause. All right, quiet down out there. So
Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome to the show. It's a pleasure having you. We got Michael P in the house already. Thanks for joining us, Michael P. So how are we doing today?
Good. Thank you for having us, man.
Right.
This is gonna be a fun one.
Man.
Absolutely. So my analogy of Zeppelin, Steely Dan, Stones, and Satriani, I think sums you guys up pretty well as far as your musical sound. So 2020, you guys released the Zeta EP. Now, is that when the band formed, or tell us a little more about the band?
Yeah. So the band did. I guess it's interesting if you qualify both of our works that are currently out right now. I guess the first one would be best summed up as the point from when we met to the point from when we changed the name from what it originally was to Zeta, which was Next Gen 5. And I think you can obviously tell at that point why we would want to change the name. So all the songs that were written and put out on the EP were actually written in that period, kind of that buffer period before we became what we are now. At least that's kind of what we like to classify it as. And it was probably... it's something that we hold dear and near to us, but it's something that also helped us get our footing. And it's something that kind of like really set and paved the way for what was to come in the next project, in my opinion, at least.
Awesome. So yeah, definitely a rock and roll bluesy type of vibe. And we are getting a echo back from someone.
We'll try turning down.
I said you got like headphones, Mike, or like your little pods or something.
I do. Let me see if
I'm not sure who it is. It doesn't tell me on the board, but I can hear it replaying, and I know once we finish it, I'll go back and it will be super echoey. So
yeah, I heard it. I didn't know where it was coming from. I just thought it was on my end.
I think it's done now, huh?
Is it me?
It might be. I think when you muted it went away.
Okay, well.
All right, so yeah, we'll roll with it. We'll and if we hear it, we can fix it. So, way to go, Kai! Fucking the show up already. So
just at the gate, bro.
And then we got David Wimbley, Brad Keller, looking handsome as always.
Hell
yeah!
Good old Davey. What's up, baby?
All
right. If you're still watching.
So again, thanks for tuning in. So the band kind of formed. We kind of spoke about that. So with such a unique vibe or a unique sound, what are some of your musical influences when it comes to creating music? Because I hear so many influential pieces to your music.
I couldn't figure out how to use my hand, but I have a Meters poster up here. So being from New Orleans, all of us except for Kai, who's from Japan, we all, and even Kai to an extent because his dad's from New Orleans, we all kind of have been around New Orleans funk music all of our lives. So I think that is, at least in my vision of what the band is like one of the things that sets us apart from a lot of other rock bands is we have sort of that deep down south funky sort of thing going on top of it, like a little cherry on top,
Yeah. And then definitely some Allman Brothers in there and such as well. But man, like to bring out the Meters, man, that's a big part of us. The more I look into that, and then me being able to jam with George and tour with him, and Michael jamming with him as well, that brings a whole new little sprinkle of elements there, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like from the beginning of, I mean, as long as I can remember playing music, I knew about the Meters were something I was aware about, and it was like I didn't really find my musical footing like in terms of like what genre I felt at home or style I felt at home in the most until I was about 15. But New Orleans funk was always there, and I think that's something that we all, no matter what we do, no matter what we're writing or jamming on, that's something that we all can kind of relate on. Like literally, it's actually been during COVID, actually, when we were rehearsing like 2 or 3 times a week. Literally every single rehearsal, the first thing we would do when we got in the room, we'd have an agenda and everything planned out, but the first thing we would do when we got in the room was do a funk jam, like literally every single day. And we have like tapes of it, and we have it. We just never named any of them. We never really did anything with any of the songs. It's just like, that's kind of our feel good, like go to instinctual, like musical
It's the
kumbaya.
warm up jam.
Yeah. Right.
Yep. And every now and then you get like some random 80s shit from me or some Aerosmith.
All right, throwing in the game changer there, just like bam. So you go from funkadelic to some old school.
Yeah, like
hell yeah.
Cars by Gary Newman.
That one pops out a lot. What was the most recent one, like last week?
Hungry Like the Wolf is what you were jamming on.
So I'm going to request Presidents of the United States, Peaches or Little Blue Dune Buggy, please. So no.
Ooh. Oh, we could probably, dude. The thing is, like, we know they're all buried in there, that subconscious, but like we just play them and we don't know the titles, and that's what happened with the Gary Newman thing. Now we throw it in every song in rehearsal, and it's like, it's not good. We should probably stop it. You know, who cares?
We ignored our rehearsal agenda and spent 45 minutes trying to figure out what song was from.
So Brad and Kai, don't talk too much, but what are some of your musical influences?
Shit. Definitely Zeppelin. I'm a big John Mayer fan, low key. That man doesn't really miss too many notes. And same with Derek Trucks. Not too big on slide myself, but just that sort of playing. It's insane.
So I'm undercover Bieber fan and Ed Sheeran. So yeah, that's a fun.
Yeah. Just
Ed
good
Sheeran is never stepped
songwriters.
on.
Yeah, man. There's nothing wrong. Like, I don't know. As being a rock band, I think people expect us to be purists about it. Kai, you saying something? I saw his mouth moving. I can't hear him. Kai,
Kai, come on, you can't mess it up again. This is strike two, Kai.
can you hear me? Can you not hear me?
I don't know if you can
Can
hear.
you hear me? If you can hear me, put 2 fingers up.
Well, Kai is he's just going to be the model for the show.
We lost
He's the
him.
It's
model.
all right.
He just put 2
Here
fingers
it
up.
is. Okay.
Oh.
Speaketh, motherfucker.
All right. Well,
All right, we'll just let him be the model for the show. Just sit there and smile, Kai. Sit there and smile.
Kai, also known as Steve Perry.
oh yeah. Somebody said he looked like Steve Perry. I'm not sure.
That was the chef at the hibachi restaurant, bro.
So where does the name Zita come from? So you spoke on your previous name, and hopefully I'm saying it right. Zita.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Zita. So I think the story goes something like we used to rehearse at my dad's old house, and like for no reason, there's this little ghost that likes to turn off lights and all kinds of shit. So we named it, and here we are.
Yeah. Fuck that. I would be out of that house. And
No, they moved. They moved since then. It's all good.
Okay.
It's
yeah,
Louisiana. There's ghosts everywhere.
Yeah, true. Yeah, especially in New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of the most haunted cities, apparently. But yeah, I would.
Definitely.
The rats are way scarier than the ghosts, though.
Ricky the rat is a solid built motherfucker, dude.
It's like a Chihuahua size rat,
Yeah.
running
Well, the
around.
rats go around drinking liquor all day.
And they
off the
bark too,
sidewalk.
just like Chihuahua.
It's actually terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know. I would shit my pants if I had any kind of paranormal experience, which I haven't that I know of. But we were in Savannah, and we did a ghost tour one night, and they're like, "Oh, take your camera out and take a picture." And there was like 4 orbs or 4 blurs in the camera. I'm like, "Yeah, fuck this. I'm out. I'm done.
No
I'm going to the bar. I'm
way, yeah.
drinking." Yep.
Kai,
And,
Kai,
Well, Kai
shit.
disappeared, so
He
the
died.
model
he did
disappeared.
disappear.
He's
But
probably
he
gonna
just
try to
had-
come back in. He said he couldn't hear anything.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see him when he pops back in. We'll add him. But and then so the cemetery they actually widened the road. So about 6 feet of the road, there were still you know corpses and whatever whatever you call it. You get buried in the cinder block, whatever. So they were actually still under the road. But yeah, it was pretty eerily.
Wow.
Kai, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can
Okay,
hear.
perfect.
Oh yes.
Hey, he's
Welcome back.
We were just
Oh,
gonna
I
let you sit there and be the model, but
Yeah, I thought you were on mute, bro. I'm like, what the fuck happened to your boy?
Yeah, I
here
muted
talking about
once and then
ghosts.
I couldn't hear anything after that. But I'm all good now. I can hear it.
Nice.
So what were y'all talking about?
We're talking about ghosts, and you're the
Ghosts?
person who you had in a haunted apartment.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did
to
have
be
a haunted
here.
apartment. Yeah, that was crazy. It was right on St. Charles.
nope, not catching me. So
It was like the only basement in the entire city of New Orleans, and it was the most terrifying place ever.
Yeah, that's insane in its own.
Yeah, it has some history to it. It was an old apartment.
I mean, it'd be cool to like experience, but yeah, I would. I don't know. I would never be the same after that. So the name Zita comes from the ghost. So
That
yeah,
haunted
that's
our original rehearsal space. Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's
It's
a
actually-
unique story for sure. So
Yeah, and it's funny because like with all the haunting and shit, that we somehow managed to write an entire album in that room.
Yeah. That's actually where the entirety of Hardly Alive came from. Like Hardly Alive, and to circle back to the point about the EP and the album respectively, it was like, I guess another delineation you can make is like the EP was something that we kind of wrote separately, and then we brought it into the room and did the arrangements together. But the album was a lot more. I was talking to Kai about this the other day. The album was a lot more cohesive and democratic the way it was kind of brought about, and it was really the first work that we did all together. Like The Wife, for example, which is the second track on the album, is like the first song we ever wrote as Zita, all together in the same room, that we all kind of bred with each other. And it was, I think it shows in the album just the difference in the music, the difference in the arrangements, and how much, in my opinion, cleaner and more consistent it is. And I think that we all gravitate towards the album for that reason.
Facts.
And bouncing off of that point, it also, in my opinion, like the EP was sort of all of our first times really crafting something in a studio.
okay.
And we kind of, we were maybe less experienced than we should have been going in there, but it was a sort of touching the stove, so to speak, type experience where we all we went in there, we figured out what we liked doing and what we thought wasn't efficient. And I think we rubbed all those out and then recorded the album much more smoothly and much more cohesively, I think.
So folks that are just joining us,
yeah, it was a
this is
necessary experience.
Satriani Jr. right here, Bradford. So he drops the riffs. But what's up, Nick H? Thanks for coming in. So folks in the chat, if you have any questions for the band Zita, do not hesitate to put them in the chat.
Yeah,
Shout them out.
Hell yes. We already got one fan crush of Brad expressing their love. So
I see.
Feel free to do that as well. Please.
There's probably about 27 more of those.
I'm sure.
All right. So what was the I lost my train of thought. Shit. But yeah, so the what is your favorite song that you guys created as a group on the album?
Ooh.
I
That
think
might
everybody
differ.
might have a similar answer.
Yeah, I think so.
honestly.
Let's
I think we did
go Brad first. I want to see what yours is.
Definitely Magnolia Soul. It's the second to last song off the record. Yeah, that one. Lot of guitar tracks in there. We just got to have fun with that one. I feel like.
I think there's either 3 or 4 guitars on that song.
Yeah, man, we went off.
It captures us the best. I feel like that's also my favorite song. I think it brings out what Zita is.
Yeah, that song was also the most of a bitch to record.
That is true.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
literally, man, so much shit happened in that process. Like we didn't even know we were gonna finish it.
Right.
So honestly, I was I was taken back, a little bit blown away when I listened to the album, and I've listened to the album several times since we started chatting. And I mean, I don't have a favorite. They're just all so well rounded, and there's so many.
They're all different too. No, we
Right.
tried to make it to where nothing's like very much the same. Like it's all cohesive, but it's not, all like a little glued together thing.
Yeah,
you know.
like certain songs, you get certain vibes from past, artists, and you just mesh so well, with the sounds and how you guys do it. So, I mean, keep it up because you guys. I mean, you guys have such a unique sound that isn't heard in this era or this genre of music per se. So I think I know you guys could go places with the sound that you guys have because it's so unique. So.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
that. And
Yeah, we have plenty more coming at some point. We're trying to figure out now when to actually record it all, but we probably usually have at least 2 records worth of stuff just stockpiled, really.
yeah,
Okay. We got a question in the chat. So Nick H wants to know what would be the best venue to perform at and why. My apologies, I'm late. Not sure if this was asked.
I guess this question can span a lot of things, but if he's talking about in general, at least from my vantage point, and I think we can all vouch for this to a certain extent, like the ideal venue, if we had to pick, if it was like the world's ending tomorrow and we have to do one last show and you could pick anywhere on earth, it would probably be Red Rocks.
Yep, and that's a
that's a
very
good one.
common answer.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I think for a good reason. If it were in our hometown, though, I think we'd all have a similar answer as well. And I've been fortunate enough to frequent this venue, which is Tipitina's, and we
100%.
may, fingers crossed, depending on how things go, maybe back there pretty soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that, our fans in New Orleans. But yeah, that's between those two, I'd say.
Yeah. I also want to shout out Fred's on that, man. Fred's has been great to us. And one venue that I would like us to play that we haven't got a chance to is a bucket list of mine that Mike's dad's playing at soon with the Last Waltz tour thing. But the Sanger Theater, man. I everywhere in the world, I don't know why, but like it's been a venue in my head. I'm like, if I play there, then I've made it.
Yeah, I mean Red Rock. I mean, I call it the Valley. I mean, I don't know what you call it, but I mean, just being down there, looking up at rows and rows and rows of fans. I mean, that's epic. I mean, and you're surrounded by the Red Rocks, and so that would be a killer setting. So what are some of your plans here in the near future? We know obviously you just dropped this new album in 2021, Hardly Alive. Any album in the works for this year, tours, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think piggybacking on kind of what Dylan said earlier, there's just a lot of the challenge with this next project. We're not even really sure if we want to do an album, to be honest with you, because I think we felt in the last project or the last album, I guess, it was just the problem was we maybe didn't feel, and obviously we're biased in this, but we probably didn't feel like each individual song got its justice due. And I think we want to kind of correct that on this next project because we feel like each song, although they're cohesive, like Dylan said, it's just we feel like each one should have its own sort of spotlight. And even in the modern industry, thinking on the business side of things, it kind of just works to your advantage to like try to get traction to release singles at a time, maybe 3 to 2 months spread apart, even a month spread apart, depending on what your touring schedule is like. But we definitely plan to, in terms of touring, definitely plan to hit as many markets in the Southeast. We're kind of starting to break out into Houston, which has been great to us. And then West Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, obviously staying in New Orleans, but then getting down to the Panhandle next year to Pensacola, possibly Tallahassee, and just doing all kinds of Southeast stuff, looking to get up to Nashville and maybe even Atlanta. But I mean, obviously these are things that, most Southeast artists aspire to do, but it's definitely something that if you play your cards right, if we play our cards right, I should say, it looks pretty promising. So that would be the tentative plan, I'll say, because nothing is set in stone. But that's definitely where we would plan to be headed.
Right, and we're getting on track now. Finally, man. I mean, at first when COVID happened, nobody really wanted to book anything. They didn't know as things were changing, and but now it seems like things are getting back on track, and we're getting some more traction, getting some more venues, and always looking for more. So, yeah, it's gonna be good.
Right, and Michael brings up a good point. The singles. It seems like a lot of you get a lot more traction doing singles here and there compared to dropping a full length album. Um,
Yeah,
and
people just don't have time anymore, man. Like back in the day, you could put on a whole album and just go front to back. But people's attention span now, I mean, especially with platforms like TikTok, man, you got 60 seconds to make an impression.
right,
Yeah.
yep, it's like a rat race now. So,
Yep.
Right. Totally.
so Nick says great goals. Agreed there, Nick. And let's see, am I missing anything else in the chat?
I think
Nope.
more
So
videos too. That's another thing we
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're working on that. We definitely need some
Right.
more content that we're having in the works.
Okay.
Right. It could be music videos or just live shoots, studio shoots.
Content is king.
Yes.
Content is king.
Yeah, and kind of circle back to like you were saying, TikTok and the attention span. So, how do you think that has affected the music industry now compared to when people bought CDs, records, vinyls, things like that? Because literally, you can go online and Spotify, boom, listen to any band across
Right.
the world.
Right.
So, I'm sure there's pros and cons to that. So,
Yeah, so I'd say it's better in the sense of like with the availability so easily tangible. It's good for artists because people can easily find your stuff, right? You don't have to like source out a record or it's easier to be found. But like you said, it turns into a rat race where everybody can do it now, which is great. Not discrediting it, but like at the same time, it makes it easier and harder, I think.
It's a lot more saturated now.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. That's a great way to put it. Because
I
I
would
think
agree.
another thing that changed the sentiment was just the idea of not like the sentiment used to be towards music, at least, like just everybody, at least in the West, it used to be just like, I'm a fan of this artist. It used to be like a novelty thing to have a record. You spend you go take your well-earned, hard-earned money from the week and you go to the record store and you buy your favorite Zeppelin album because you want to hear what they put out. And it's not like I can just have it here now. Here's Zeppelin 2 or whatever. And it's like, I think people, it's kind of overstated nowadays, but I think for good reason, because it's such a powerful thing. It's just instant gratification has overtaken the music industry. And like Dylan said, I don't know if it's for better or for worse, because I mean, there are so many pros that you can pull from it. Like there's so many more, we've made so many more fans than we would have in the old school music industry where you just sell records. Like we have a pretty significant sub following in Paris, France that we got from being on a Spotify playlist. And it's just that sort of stuff would never happen in 87. You know what I mean? So it's just you kind of have to balance it out. Like my dad, obviously being in the music industry, he used to tour with Harry Connick Jr. And it's just he's a little bit not pessimistic, but obviously down on the industry and the way it's evolved. But I'm just sometimes you can have that attitude and you'd probably be justified because of all the ailments that come with it. But at the same time, there's a lot of really promising things and good things that come of it. Just being so exposed and so readily available, like Dylan said.
Right. And your dad's kind of seen both, sides of the spectrum, CD sales and vinyl and record and, and now the digital era. So, and I collect vinyls and cassettes just because the nostalgia factor. And as a kid, that's what we used to do. And, you'd pop the CD in and the damn thing would get all out, you'd have to respin it back together. And, same with the NES, I collect NES games and now that I'm older, I don't know how I did it as a kid because I want to throw the damn thing through the window. Because you blow on it 25 times, you got to push it in, wiggle it, and I'm just how did I get by with this? So,
right, and even CDs are a step up from that. But once you play the fuck out of a CD so many times, and then it starts getting all scratched up and starts skipping and shit.
Yeah, and man, the good old days. And I remember riding the school bus, and they came out with the not the Discman, but the little Sony player, and
the Walkman.
It was skip proof. Yeah, it still skipped. Yeah, if you shake it too much, whatever. Your gimmick didn't work, still skipped. But all right, so let's see. As an artist, what's been the best advice that you've been given?
Mike, you should answer this with your dad's advice that you say at every show.
Oh man, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I don't know. Jeez, I guess to choose. Jeez, this is the loudest chair I've ever sat in. All right. So I guess the best piece of advice that I've been given, and it's not even directly music related, but it helped me in my pursuit of music in general. I think the most, more than anything else, was just my dad always telling me, like, you can do anything you want if you set your mind to it. I would always ask him. I'd be like, do you think I could, be an athlete or whatever? Because I wanted to be a basketball player when I was like 13 or 14 or whatever. And he's like, you could do anything. It was consistently throughout my life. And like, I think that being like set in stone into my head during my childhood is just like that empowerment and that like that sort of reassurance is just like, and it's true. Like anybody can do something that they set their mind to. It's not subjective to me. It's not subjective to whoever's raised a certain way. It's like anybody can do anything if they set their mind to it. And I think that's the most important thing to remember for artists coming up nowadays.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very easy to get discouraged too, man. Like the whole time you go through stuff, like we've had some shows like, well, I won't throw any venues under the table, but yeah, so some shows like we've had, it's like, okay, we're gonna go in there and it's gonna be a badass show and it's gonna be a bunch of people, this and that, and you get there and there's like 5 people, and those people have the time of their fucking life though. But like,
Right.
it's very hard to, get everything going the way you want in your head when you're like, you were dead set on like this is gonna fucking kill, and
Right.
you get there and it's blank.
Yeah,
But
mental
the
mind game.
yeah, but the piece of advice that I've always gotten from multiple people, mainly my dad, but everybody that meets me, especially when I was younger, they're like, man, don't stop, don't give up. Like I know it's gonna suck
That's a good one.
sometimes, and you're gonna like
Yeah.
hate your decision of doing this, but do it for the music.
Always
Right.
remember why you started.
Yeah,
I think I
Yeah,
may
or
have
why you're doing it too. Like that's a good thing.
right.
Yeah, and sometimes you
right.
just gotta embrace the suck and push.
Oh
through.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
No, I thrive off of awkward situations. I find. But I think I have a maybe more musical based piece of advice.
Mm.
So for some backstory, like my dad grew up in the south of England and he moved over here, moved to meet his dad and live with his dad. But he mainly moved over here because he wanted to play blues music on guitar, and he knew like if I'm gonna go anywhere, like Baton Rouge, my dad lives over there, like I'll go do that. And he would play all these blues gigs. This young dude from England playing these blues gigs with all these old blues musicians that have been doing it since the blues was popular, And he was going to all these blues jams, and he'd always just be trying to prove himself. And he'd be trying to just throw out all his cool stuff. And then one day, the leader of the jam stopped the show. He's like, Brad, that's my dad's name. So there's 3 Brads in the Zita family.
Especially on Magnolia, there's 3 Brads.
Yes, there are. But he told him, you're talking, and these people are trying to listen to you, but you're talking too fast. They can't understand what you're saying. So what you need to do is slow down and say something. And I feel like he told me that when I was probably about 15. I was first really getting into the blues and learning all these blues songs. And then I was just trying to play them super fast and trying to let everything fly out. And he gave me that piece of advice. And that just shifted my gears backwards and slowed me down and maybe made me think more about what's going to come out when I play before I play it.
Okay, I mean that's great advice. So, all right, and so during your show, what would be your go-to drink?
We all have Brad's.
That's Brad's answer.
Okay. I'll take this one. I turned the band on to Jameson.
Jameson,
I turned
okay.
them hard on the Jameson. Yeah.
Pickleback or no pickleback?
Pickleback.
Pickleback, okay. I like using pickleback.
Yes, man. If nobody said shit, Kai was like, "Fuck pickleback."
Right. The rest are like, we don't drink that sissy shit. But no.
I like anything
Nobody drinks nobody drinks picklebacks. There was this one time we had a gin and pickle juice drink and called it Dirty Pickle.
That
when
was
the
our
hurricane
Hurricane Ida drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just funny.
The
But,
Dirty Pickle.
But yeah, we
I would think
do all
Jameson
enjoy
is
the
fun.
whiskeys.
Yeah, we do enjoy some good whiskey.
Yep. See, I can't drink. I love whiskey, but I'm a 3-hitter quitter. Once I get 3 in me, I'm done. But I can drink Busch Light all day long and be fine. So it's,
That.
do I want to go to sleep fast or do I want to party for the day? Kind of deal.
I
So,
heard that.
Yeah, we
we
don't
also-
even. I think it's probably reckless. Is we don't even do the. We skip beer. We just go straight to whiskey. It's probably not a good thing. But
Depends on the day. I like to have some beer sometimes.
Yeah,
Where we
whiskey and a
really fuck
joint
up-
and we're set.
Where we really fuck up, well, actually, not really, but at the same time, yes. So it's almost a ritual for a few of us, at least, every show to take some pre-workout before going on stage. And we'll do that shit and then take some shots. And then maybe before the pre-workout, there's like a Red Bull or a coffee involved. Bunch of caffeine. Like at some point, we'll likely be heart patients, and I don't want to jinx that. But like,
Bro, y'all are going crazy with this.
people are like, you guys have so much energy. Y'all's live show is insane. I'm like, yeah, we're insane. We fucking do
gym drugs, bro. I call that shit gym drugs.
Like that's
Pre-workout all night.
because it's for a good reason.
I remember years ago when they had ephedrine. You could buy ephedrine over the counter, and you would, take a energy drink and take an ephedrine. I mean, you'd be wired for hours. So, yeah, and the FCA pulled that because maybe some hearts exploded, or there were some issues with
Right.
Nothing good.
We
Nothing
decided that it was easier to be able to grasp buying pre-workout versus trying to find a Coke dealer. So
Right.
It's a lot
And cheaper.
no, it's
cheaper.
it's way
Right.
cheaper.
Yeah.
way cheaper.
Just get like 400 milligrams of
Okay.
caffeine.
Slam that shit one shot.
Injected, dude.
I mean,
Injected.
you might as well just go get the caffeine pills, crush them up, and snort them. I mean,
Yeah,
get the same effect.
y'all missing out.
So that's your
More
test.
efficient ways.
I want you
Yeah, we
guys to
just-
try that and then get back to me how that turned out.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna
Noted.
do a control and everything. It'll be full like scientific study.
Yeah, we're gonna be 5 trials. We'll be the 5 trials.
How snorting caffeine pills affects musicians' performance.
I'm gonna get
Jeez.
y'all some of those
Joke.
weightlifting smelling salts. You know,
Oh,
the
God.
Oh
honeys.
no!
Ammonia pack. Yeah, just totally.
And we used to smell those in hockey. Oh my God, they're awful. But it wakes you up.
Yeah,
Is that
it
like a
does.
popular thing to do in hockey? I feel like it would be. You got to be fucking amped to get on that ice, man. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
how you-
I mean,
Yeah, dude, you gotta want to fucking fight everybody.
yeah.
like,
I mean,
sniff the
like-
salt, and you're like, all right, let's go. I'm gonna fuck you up. No, so
Yeah, fucking polar bear style assault, bro. Fucking
all right. So let's get into some this or that. Or not this or that. Would you rather? So we're going to play a little game of Would You Rather. And so the first question, would you rather always be rested or always feel motivated?
Oh, you mean wait? So you mean like rested as in like just chill, like always be chill?
I think he
Yeah.
means like not tired.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
not
tired,
tired.
rested up.
I see.
We're always motivated. Oh,
I would say
Always motivated.
I think so too. I think so. I can handle being tired sometimes, but I like to be motivated.
Especially if I'm snorting caffeine pills.
Right. You're
Dude.
fine.
needs to
You have
fucking be rested.
pre-workout. You can motivate and have
definitely
a pre-workout in your hand.
Bro, gotta get that tingle. But I think I'll take the opposite side on that.
Yeah, I
'Cause,
think
like,
so too. Honestly,
Getting fucking
think-
old, bro. Like I need fucking sleep.
Getting old.
yeah, I don't.
I say
I'd probably
that,
say
but
the same
Donnie's
thing.
like, fuck these kids.
I love my sleep. I take my daily naps when I can.
No,
Naps
for real.
are nice.
Bro,
If
I
I
haven't
don't
had
get
a
8
nap
hours-
since like fucking 87.
Like we should have like lunchtime and then nap time. I mean, that should like
Mm-hmm.
coincide together. But
Oh, they totally should.
Yeah, they teach you that shit in kindergarten, and then they just take that shit away.
yeah, it's
Right?
like
It's so
they
weird.
like give you a
Yeah.
little treat and they feed you the little bone, and then it's like, ha, sucker. This isn't
I was the
real
kid that
world.
would never
Bitch,
fall
strap
asleep
in.
during I'd never fell asleep during nap time, and now I wish I would have.
Right.
That's me, son.
I was
That's me.
always fidgeting the whole time, and then I'd get home and I'd be like, "Man, I'm tired."
I'd turn over to my friends that were trying to nap, and they'd be like, "Michael, shut the fuck up." I mean, they wouldn't say it in kindergarten, but yeah, they would just be like, "Dude, go to sleep." I'd be like,
You're gonna get me in trouble.
"Yeah, right. We have to be nap. We have to be sleeping." Like, can you imagine? Fathom in the public school system that was something that you had to do, and then they just fucking ripped it out of your hands. It was like, dude,
Mhm.
we need this in high
Bro.
school. That's important.
Right. Like now, yeah, kindergarten. Guess what? You get a 15-minute pee break now in high school, so you're lucky.
And then you get
So,
chastised when you come back because you were in the bathroom too long, probably hitting your
Right.
vape like Bradford and Kai.
uh-oh.
Bro, these kids are soft now, though, bro. Look,
Hey,
when we were in
Yeah.
high school, we used to have to hide like box mods and shit. These kids are getting busted with little jewels the size of a flash drive.
I remember kids going out, sneaking out behind the football stadium, smoking cigarettes, and there was like a little, So our stadium up north in Michigan, where I grew up, was kind of like in the ground. I mean, and then right behind it was a patch of woods, so everyone would sneak back there in the woods and try to smoke a cigarette real quick. But the funniest story I have, and they called my parents, and my parents had to come and kind of talk to me. I think this was like third grade. This is probably where my love of boobies comes from. But I had a National Geographic magazine,
Days.
and I took it to school. Like I used to like reading National Geographic and looking at the animal pictures and that. Well, this edition had a African tribe in it, and you could see the women's titties. So I'm boobies. So I take it to school, and we're on recess, and I'm showing my friends out on recess, like, hey, look, boobies. So yeah, they took my magazine. I never got it back, and they called my parents, and my parents had to come get me. So I got in trouble for showing boobies in a National Geographic magazine in like third grade.
Yeah, man.
Just
Damn,
educating them.
It is.
No
No,
problem
it
with
really
that.
is. Like, all tongue-in-cheek humor aside, I feel like that's important for young kids to see. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's part of life, dude. It's part of
I've
the
loved
fact
boobies ever since. So I learned a lesson. I like boobies.
You would love Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
I go to Key West for the Singer and Songwriter Festival, and that's wild enough. I would need bail money on Bourbon Street, I think.
Oh, it's
Probably
crazy.
so.
You have five pockets to choose from here. So I mean, if you're ever in New Orleans, hit us up, dude.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be a epic party, and you'll be like, I'll get there, and after we party for a bit, you'll be like, what kind of shit show did we bring? Be like,
Bro.
White Trash Donnie walking around in his assless chaps, and
Dude,
You went
it's
all
Bourbon
in.
Street, man. You'd fit right in. I swear to God. If
I mean, I want to go to New Orleans. So
Oh,
If you're saying
it's
you'd be
the
able to
best place on earth.
like I'm mellow on the show, but get me out and get a few beers in me. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's game over. So
That's what I'm saying. If you're saying you're over the top, you're gonna fit right in.
perfect.
Bro,
All right.
we gotta change it, bro. Instead of
So we'll have
trashy, bro, your boy's gonna be fucking dangerous Donnie, bro. Look out.
Well, that's my other nickname, Donnie Dangerous. So
Oh shit.
There you go.
He's ahead of us.
Nail on the head with
yeah,
that one. Shit.
I've gotten that one a couple of years ago for all the dumb shit I do. So
All right. Well, now we have to firsthand experience this. We'll buy your airline ticket. Dude. No, I'm just kidding.
right.
If we weren't musicians, we would buy your airline ticket.
Spirit Airlines is your friend.
Right. $40, you can get me there.
A backpack and some hope.
Support White Trash Donnie, aka Donnie Dangerous. I mean, like literally, we would have to vlog it. Like we would need some GoPros and just like literally, like make a stupid. Like we could literally be on MTV.
We'll go gator hunting.
Jackass
right?
4.0.
Right. Like I'll jump on a gator. I don't care. Like
Or we
like,
could
4
just go
beers.
fishing.
It's just a fucking water dragon, bro. I ain't scared of them bitches.
Water dragon these nuts.
Oh my God.
Splish splash.
Yeah, I don't fuck around in the waters here. We got the gators and the water moccasins, which I'm sure you guys have there in
Oh yeah.
No, yeah, we got
Louisiana
that
as well.
bro. See, tell me why. Like, I'll fist fight the fucking water dragon, but I don't fuck with the nope ropes.
The nope ropes.
The
yeah,
nope
bro.
rope.
I
Yeah,
remember
bro.
weeding around like the pond, and like I'm just going about my business, and he's chilling there like on the bank. The little motherfucker like literally chased me like for like a
Oh
minute,
yeah, they're horrible.
and I just turned around and weed whacked him until he died. But I was like, man, they're super aggressive.
I can just see
Yeah.
that shit spinning around.
Right? I was like,
Shit.
When I was
whack him
growing
with a
up,
string.
I grew up across the street from a bayou, like deep in like South Louisiana, like Cajun country. And we had this giant tree that fell down during Katrina. And when it fell down, it left like this huge, basically, cave of dirt and roots. And there was a blackberry bush that used to grow there. And I would try to go pick blackberries, but there were like 10 water moccasins chilling behind it all the time. So I'd always go, and then I'd hear the hiss and run away. And then my grandpa would have to go and handle that situation.
It's like, damn it, boy, you just put your hand in there.
Oh yeah.
I can see him just walking out with like a small ass 22. What the fuck you worried about? Pop, pop.
Right?
Nah, he had a stick, bro.
He had a fucking stick.
Yeah, come on. This is the Cajun man.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're a little
Slap in
crazy
the
down
water.
there in the bayou. So
It's a different breed.
It is.
It's all them cypress tree, bros.
What's that?
It's all the cypress trees.
So what's the wildest story you have on tour, or it doesn't even have to be on tour or a show? I'm just
shit.
talking with you guys. I know you got some wild stories.
Birmingham knife fight van party.
Bro, no bullshit. If you haven't partied in
that
Alabama,
might-
don't.
Yeah, that was the first thing that popped up in my head.
Same. Yeah. I was honestly like, the reason I bit my lip is like, I don't know if I want to tell that story because it was a little bit.
Fuck it, we here now, bro. Fucking whole dick.
I know. It's
And-
fucked. It's white trash Donnie. We got to share the story. But I don't know. Y'all could probably tell it better than I was. I was in the. Well, okay. I'm not going to spoil too much. Somebody else take it.
Bro, so look, I'm
I
chilling
want
in
to
the
hear a
fucking
different
bar.
perspective because I didn't see it. I didn't.
I
see
would
the
love
knife
to hear
fight.
Dylan's perspective.
Bro.
on this.
Yeah.
Well, Bradford's eyes
Yeah.
lit up as soon as I said that. Bradford's like, I got one.
Go,
Bro.
Bradford.
Nah,
I need to
dude, like
rip
I'm
this
chilling in the
song to this.
bar. I'm chilling in the bar, and like this lady was like scoping us out the whole night, fucking apparently, unbeknownst to us. And we're playing, we get done playing, we're packing up. We finally get everything packed up, and we're sitting there, we're having a couple beers with the staff, and the lady walks out, and I just see her grab fucking Brad and Mike, and she just disappears. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't
By
really
the way,
think much
for full
of it.
disclosure, this is at the Nick in Birmingham, Alabama.
Like, you're
Yeah.
coming home with me, boys.
Shout out.
No. The first thing was, do y'all want to have a van party? And the first thing in our head is like, what the fuck is a van party, right? So we're thinking like, so she's like, no, my van's in the parking lot, and she grabs them two and goes off. So I'm thinking like, okay, cool. So
Well,
they just got
to
fucking
interrupt you
kidnapped.
quickly, Dylan, they went off with her because I said yes, we'd love to go to a van party. I let them go with her and stayed behind.
I did not know that. But
Way to go, Bradford, setting them up.
Fuck,
I
dude.
knew it'd be a great story.
No, yeah.
He set me
Well,
up.
it turned
That's
out
why
to
we-
be way.
Set me up for it.
That's why we
Well, now you see who your true friends are, Bradford.
I was
Way
I
to
was
go.
protected from the knife fight. You see, I wasn't around it when it.
Oh
happened.
yeah, so the
I had
night-
nothing to do with the knife fight.
No, so look, so they get taken off, right? They're going to the fucking mysterious van party, right? Whatever the fuck that means at this point in time. And I'm
You
like,
know
all
what
right,
it
cool.
means, Dylan.
I do now. I didn't know then. So I'm expecting them to get fucking put like they just they just got kidnapped, right? They're in a fucking van. I don't know what the van party means. Anyway, so they get taken away. It's been about maybe like 20 minutes, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, well they've kind of been gone a little while now, and I start to worry about them, right? So as I try to go check on them, these fucking two crackheads like just start getting in a fucking literal knife fight in the street while me and Kai are waiting on food that we ordered from this fucking like little food truck.
For the record, they were fist fighting, and then someone from the crowd threw a knife
Oh.
into the street.
It was the guy
From the
front-
food
He was from the
Yeah,
food
the guy
truck.
hops out of the food truck and he's like, "Yo, here, take this. Fucking defend yourself."
So
so
threw the
they-
knife at one of them.
Yeah,
Instead
so
of
they
like
start.
bum fights, we have knife fights now.
Yeah, so they start fighting. Like eventually, like one of them just walks off. Whatever the fuck. I think one of them got stabbed, but like nobody.
No,
died
he
that
did.
we
He
know of.
definitely
No,
didn't
nobody
get
got stabbed.
but he did
Nobody
bust
got-
his ass, bro.
Oh yeah, he went
It
to
was like
fucking
a
swing
steep
and fell.
incline, and he went to kick, and his feet just both flew out from under him,
Yeah.
landed straight on his ass. I started
And
laughing.
they're just in the middle of the street too. It was just-
Bro. So anyway, all that shit happens. I'm finally like, okay, cool. I seriously need to check on Mike and Brad. They might not be fucking with us at this point, right? So I go to the van that they're at, and I knock on the fucking window because like I'm nice or something, and I fucking they let me in, and like. So when I heard van party, I expect like an air mattress, a fucking inside a van, whatever. No,
Right. Disco ball and,
right? No, this bitch fucking decked out this van into a tiny house.
oh, nice.
So I was
Yeah.
thoroughly fucking surprised. So they're
No, there's
chilling.
just a
There's,
bunch of dudes in clown masks.
yeah, there's a bunch of dudes, and there's a fucking dog, and the dog's adorable as fuck, but it kept jumping on people any fucking way. So there's a dog, there's people, the van's like a tiny house, and I'm like, okay, they're safe, so cool. And so the lady nowhere, she finally gets everybody that she wanted in the van, I guess. And the lady goes, "Hey man, y'all want some Coke?" And so Brad and Kai are like, I mean, fuck it. Me and Mike are like, I think I'll pass.
No, before that, I remember you coming back to me. I was in the bar talking to the bartender.
Oh
and I
yeah.
remember you coming back
I'm
and
like, yo, they're
dude,
doing Coke.
dude, like Dylan's freaking out, like, dude, they're about to do coke in the van. Like, come, like, what the? So I was like, what the fuck is happening? So I went to the van, and then that happened.
Yeah, she pulls out a fucking necklace. Like I don't know why I expected like an elaborate fucking scheme of her having to go get the Coke. This lady's like, "Hey, I want Coke," and they're like, "Okay," and she's like, "Yeah, give me 1 second." Like has a necklace on the entire time. Grabs the necklace, fucking untwists it, and pulls out a little baggie.
She had this planned in her head. She didn't know who was
Oh,
playing
yeah.
that night. She just was like, all right, got my little necklace of Coke, got my dogs in my car, got the clown masks, I got the toaster set up, I got the counter in the van. We're gonna have
There
van
was a
party.
toaster.
We're gonna have our
Yeah,
own
1:30
little
in the
party.
morning.
See, I was thinking something else. I was thinking shaggin' wagon, like you came around the corner, the van was rocking, don't come knocking type of deal. Yeah, way better story than I was thinking.
Definitely. She was most certainly trying to make that what it was. But
No, yeah, no, that was
Yeah.
her intention, bro. It just didn't happen, and like we low key feel bad about it, but like at the same time we don't. I mean, like,
Nah, I took my leave before that. You know what I'm saying?
and at this point,
She
I don't.
also
Go ahead.
she also invited us to a cult.
oh yeah. Oh wait. Another story attached to the cult. Speaking of cults, we met a very interesting gentleman that we very much appreciate named Bubba. Not bullshitting you.
Oh yeah,
His
Bubba.
name is Bubba. And that dude was part of some biker club, and he was pretty intoxicated, to say the least. And like, bro, that man was interesting. Bradford could probably elaborate more on that.
Bubba showed us true Southern hospitality. That's the best way I could put it.
And we'll leave it at that, right?
Yeah.
See, New Orleans scares me because y'all go.
Birmingham scares me.
I don't know who does it. I don't know who. Like, it's not a cult, but they have all them damn voodoo dolls down there.
Oh yeah, that's real.
Yeah, I'm like, that
Oh,
shit
yeah.
scares me. I'm like, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna get possessed, and like they're gonna put a pin in it, and I'm gonna feel it, and I'm just my life's fucked. So, I guess
You
I
gotta
gotta get
all
over that.
voodoo
phase.
is bad either.
protected. You gotta stay protected against that voodoo bad juju.
Right.
And yeah, not
Awesome.
only-
Well, this has been a hell of a show. We're 48 minutes in, so hell, we could sit here and talk all day.
Right.
But man, we can make that happen though, bro. I know a guy with some dolls.
No, I'm good.
You said sign me
Time
up.
out. Nope, I'm good. Time out. Time out.
If you have any enemies, just let us know. We're on
Okay.
your side.
Can you make me? No, I'm just playing. There's this one guy I don't like, so I'll forward you his name. So no,
Gotcha.
but,
It's gonna be an encrypted email coming within the hour.
right. So $5,000 if you can get rid of him. No, I'm just playing.
Hey, that'll fund next
Anyone
recording.
listening now or in the future on the podcast, that was totally a joke. Do not call the FBI.
I mean, $5,000 is $5,000. I'm just fucking with you.
Right? I mean, 20 is a 20. I'd do a lot for a $20 bill too. But so, would you rather lose your ability to concentrate or lose your creative ability? I'm going concentrate. I don't concentrate as it is. So
That's exactly my answer.
Yeah. To that.
Yeah.
I think the ability to be creative is probably the only thing we have consistently anyway. So that's an easy answer. Honestly.
Yeah. I agree.
Fair.
all right, and this is a good one for the bayou. Would you rather cross a river full of crocodiles or piranhas? I'm going with the crocodiles because piranhas are going to eat you no matter what. Crocodiles, I may have a chance.
Yeah, crocodiles are pretty lazy, bro.
Well,
Yeah, they gotta
well,
be hungry too.
How wide's this river?
Yeah.
We'll say 100 yards just for the sake of it.
Well, hear me out, right? So if you run
Oh.
across that bitch, piranhas eat fast as fuck in school, right? But if you run across some crocodiles, use them as fucking logs, bro. Run across them bitches.
Yeah,
Really, the
that's
crocodiles-
the best chance I have, honestly.
And it depends on how shallow that river is too. So how
Yeah, bro.
fast
Just
you can go.
throw a
Or do you
saddle
have
on
to
the back
actually
of the
swim?
crocodile and ride him across.
Oh, that would be cool.
That's
I've
what
ridden an
No,
alligator
you gotta
before.
bring a bunch of rubber bands with you and just put it over their mouths. That's
That would
the
take
thing.
too
True.
much
Or
time,
some
bro. That's
tape,
what.
yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure
You're
like
very vulnerable when you're
crocodiles-
taping a crocodile's mouth shut
Yeah.
to other
I'm pretty sure
crocodiles in the
crocodiles and
area.
alligators,
right.
like,
Who said it's
their
one
bite
crocodile?
down is super strong, but like they can't lift their mouth. Like
But
Well,
you can
you're
use
the
the
Bayou
Bayou
motherfuckers.
boys, so
that's
you
why
know
you
more
can,
about
like,
that than
hold
I
it down.
do. So
You
you got to
can use
walk
them
me
to
through
push the
this.
slugs.
My grandfather
Just
one
wrap it
time
up.
caught
Just bring a bunch of rubber
alligator.
bands.
He caught an alligator in his cast net and used the rope from the cast net, like the string from
Yeah.
it, to keep its mouth shut when he like relocated it.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess
Bro.
with that. I'll leave that to you, Bayou
Yeah.
boys.
Can't
So
do that for
if I do
us.
come to New Orleans, yeah, you guys are taking care of that for me. Thanks in
Yeah,
advance.
They call them murder logs for a reason, bro.
Murder logs.
All right. So would you rather bring back Elvis or Michael Jackson?
That's an easy one for me. There's shit behind me on that answer.
Yep, there you go, Elvis.
Yeah, definitely Elvis.
He's in fucking revolution. What?
Elvis thing for rock and roll.
Well, who
Right,
said
like,
he died?
yeah.
Not starting that can of worms. But no, I found impact on me as a musician. But
Okay.
I can't. It's so hard to choose. It's like choosing your favorite child. It's like I don't know. Elvis had
That's
some.
it's easy, bro. Just pick one.
Yeah, we'll flip a coin. I think Elvis had an impact on me later in my musical kind of life, and Michael Jackson was like from the time I was like 6 to now. You know, I just always surrounded myself with that music. So
I mean,
that
that's
would
the
probably
average
be-
age for Michael Jackson. So no, I'm just fucking with you.
No, stop. That's ignorant.
That was good. That was good.
Hey, we got the fucking soundboard in here. Yeah. Fuck
So,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, sorry. That's
When
probably
Michael
a
was
bad joke. but-
touched by MJ.
No, stop. That's ignorant.
Your ass was going to Neverland, bro.
Little boy forever.
All right. So we are nearing the hour, and we're going to go ahead and wrap up. It's been a pleasure having you guys on the show, and you're more than welcome to come on the show anytime. So tell the fans and the folks listening, how can we find or get a hold of Zita?
Everywhere, man.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. We are everywhere, but we are online. You can go through the medium of our website to access all of our links and material and such. We are zitaband.com. That's the official website. And then we are zita.band on Instagram and Zita Band, one word, everywhere else. So wherever you
Okay.
have your
Yep.
online sources, your online presences, you can find us. It's
And
ZITA.
Facebook, YouTube, TikTok.
Yeah, literally anywhere you can find us on all platforms. Music's everywhere, and we're still working on getting merch onto our website. But if you guys want merch, we got some pretty spots in the work.
You can directly contact actually me from there as the booking agent still technically, and you can contact the band via the website in wix.com. So you can just send us a message in any way, shape, or form, and we will make sure we get that merch to you.
Awesome. So you heard it there. And if you were wondering what Zita sounds like, take Zeppelin, Steely Dan, Rolling Stones, Joe Satriani, mixed it in one. They had a baby, and boom, we got Zita. So a pleasure having them on the show. Make sure you check them out, give them a listen. Their newest release, Hardly Alive, is a kick-ass album with quite a few bangers on it. So definitely check them out. In the meantime, thanks for joining this episode of the Sloppy Syndicate. And remember, keep it sloppy, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, man.
Keep it
Thank
loud.
you.